By whakapapa, all of us in Ikaroa Rawhiti are connected. We're surrounded by a sometimes unforgiving geographical rugged landscape, but together the people, particularly iwi along the eastern seaboard, work well together and, as I said, by whakapapa, connect very well together.
Our rate of unemployment is 12%, we're very high. It really tears at your heartstrings. People around here are sick and tired of just things continuing as they are, and they're wanting the changes.
Like I just told you before, I'm nearly homeless and I'm trying to look for a job and everything, and there's no one here who's trying to help me because I don't fit the criteria to some of these paperworks, like they've done a police check and I can't even get this house because of my past. Yep. And I'm not a bad person, just I've made some mistakes in my life, and what do, bro, when no one's going to help you? These people in high places are supposed to be looking after us.
We haven't got a bank from here all the way to Gisborne, I think, and from here to Portaki will be the next one.
Dozens of people are in emergency accommodation in Napier tonight, unable to return to their homes, too badly damaged by flooding and slips.
On a wet and windy winter's night, Gisborne's homeless are starting to settle in.
Some are on the building, some are down here, but everyone's all spread out. And this is where they all camp. They all sleep on the top.
The pressure of the housing crisis is taking its toll on Masterton, where demand for an affordable place to live has gone through the roof. There are no state houses in Wairarapa, and the only community housing provider in the area has a wait list of more than 50. That provider is also having to raise rents to try and renovate its 500 homes, many of which are more than 70 years old.
Well, as soon as I touched the river, I splashed my face 3 times and I just threw everything down. All my raru, all the problems, I threw it away. It reset my mindset, I say my headspace, and it made me feel better and like fresh and just willing to try everything like I've never tried. Meeting all these people, different challenges, this is what it's about.
Te pua ke tonu means to continually grow, and the focus of our business is to tautoko others to grow and succeed.
By delivering a range of services such as networking and partnerships through Te Aka Kaipākehi, a revitalised Māori business network regionally, business and strategic planning, ongoing coaching, mentoring and growth services. Program delivery, evaluation services, and community-based education.
Facilitating cultural understanding for others who are looking to support Māori businesses and the ecosystem.
Our services are all geared towards helping build strong whānau, thriving communities, and successful enterprise.
Just to teach the workers and our people that to be proud to be tangata whenua, proud to be from Aotearoa, and acknowledge our tūpuna that paved the way for us to be able to be here today. Yeah, I'll give a big thanks to Puni Kokiri and iwi for their support. Without the support, things like this wouldn't be able to happen.
Ko kaurana ki tōku maunga, ko ngāre roro tōku au.
And that's how you kind of create relationships. We should never be nervous because our ancestors have our backs.
What is my long term? Family home. Want to be able to do this holiday, whatever it is.
We work with each other for probably 12 hours every day, for 5 days, and then 6 to 7 hours on a Saturday. And I'd say over the last 3 days, we've probably gotten to know each other better than we have in a whole year.
Leadership is everywhere. It's when you see rangatahi getting involved in whenua projects. It's when you see the aunties that take control in the wharekai. And of course we can't forget those that lead on behalf of us through our iwi and hapu. But for me, working at Te Puni Kokiri, I love it. I love our team. I work with really awesome, skilled people who love what they do. I think we're really fortunate to work in some kaupapa that are really making a change for whānau, whether that be through whenua, whare or whānau. All three go hand in hand, and what a privilege.
That's all I want, love. Love me with all your heart, or not at all. Just promise me this, that you'll give me all your kisses every winter, every summer, every fall. When we are far apart, or when you're near me, love me with all your heart, as I love you. Don't give me your love for a moment or an hour. Love me always as you love me.
The crew here are also a pretty interesting crew. I had the advantage of doing some work with them and was able to watch them in action. And I always felt they were pretty magnificent. I also think that one of the things that Tairāwhiti managed to do pretty well was during the lockdown in 2020, where there was quite serious issues and people were concerned about mobile homes and other things going through the area and the potential for disease to be spread. And so there was concerns around that. But again, they rallied, and that you had, in the southern part of Tairāwhiti, in Ngāti Kahungunu, you had where there's whole orchards and things like that. The people were able to swing into action to tap into those resources to provide little food parcels around the rohe. Ngāti Kahungunu has a fishing company. They sent one of their boats out they'd catch fish, and there'd be, and I know this because I was a recipient of some of this at our home in Potama. Wairoa is quite an interesting spot. It's in between those two big population centres of Gisborne on the one hand and further down in Hawke's Bay on the other. Yet there, in Wairoa, there are some people who have been involved in looking after iwi and you know, the whānau ora could have easily been created by them because they've been working. The people like Mo Haukamo and Rangi Manuel, they're people who've worked with iwi for decades. You know, if you want to know anything of what's happening in Wairoa, you go down there and ask them because they'll know. Or if something happens, they will know. If they don't know, they'll know within a very short time of what the actual issues are because they've been tapped into that community for so long.
Kia ki te atua no i toa tahua e kanapara. Pupuhi ai e te hou ka pohi a kuro e mata.
Tū te maunga, ko te ara i te awa, ko rongo whakātoa te iwi. My connection to this whenua would start, I guess, at the arrival of our waka.
My mother, through her parents and tipuna backwards, inherited that land and passed it on to us. We promised in our own ways to take care of it. Whānau and whenua mean a lot to me, so there's not a lot of difference between those two words as far as I'm concerned.
I was lucky enough to go up the hill with all of our whānau earlier this year, and it was beautiful to be up there and see my nanny, especially on the whenua, and being able to be up there and reconnect again.
Reconnecting to the land, as I said before, I'm never away from it. I might be physically away from it, but here and mentally I'm here. I'm on the land that my parents bequeathed to us.
And it's important for the rangatahi who come after us and continue to come after us to have a place where they can put their feet down, have their roots and call home as well. No matter where they are in the world, they can always come back to our whenua and feel like they're connected to this whenua.
Ko Paul Sharon tōku inga. Kia ora. Kei te hanga whare, kei te hanga huarahi, kei te hanga i ngā mea hei tautoko i ngā whare, engari ko te mea nui, ko ngā hua o te whānau.
Kia ora, ko Hirani Husana hau. I think my journey started here will be 5-6 years ago when the first papa kāinga stage 1 was developed. What happened is I went into the bank and was told no and was given a list, quite a big list of things that I needed to improve in my financial area of living. So clear a 30k debt, get a healthier deposit and double my wage was the main 3 aspects, and so I did that in 2.5 years. We're just going to have a home. I'm going to be grounded. I can cook my own meal and we can cook and sit together and be, open the door to our own home, sleep in our own rooms.
When we look at the end result, what we got here, and for those of us that are fortunate enough to live in these houses, it's just a beautiful community settlement under that kupu papa kāinga.
During COVID, my granddaughter said to me, "Oh, Nanny, the walls are crying." So this one here. So, I think as an adult, you put up with a lot. You make do with what you've got. But when you've got the grandkids coming in, you got to go to another level.
Black mould, research is showing now, has got more of a detrimental effect on health than a house infected with methamphetamine. So this family was sleeping in these rooms with black mould.
Unbeknown to us, a lot of the mould that was in her home was caused because she had a roof that had concrete tiles, and back in the day when they built those homes, they didn't put the black paper underneath. So essentially what we now know is that those style of homes, they will always be damp and cold because the concrete tiles cause moisture and it goes into all the internal walls.
The house is 66 years old, the first time anything has been done. The drains were blocked, the electricals were hanging, only 2 lights were going, and back in the day you only had 1 power point, so I had 2 leads coming into the bedrooms that each had a power point, and all these connected to the one socket.
The difference in the house is huge. The bedrooms have been relined, painted, there's new carpet, and the roof has actually been replaced because that's what the cause of the black mould. There was water that was dripping down into the walls.
The end result is like walking into a new home. Ever so grateful for the help from DHB, TPK, and of course the builders. Prior to this, it would be warmer outside than inside.
How about you, Bailey? What do you think's different about the house now?
That the walls are not crying anymore.
What are the walls like now?
They're like normal.
Nice and warm.
Nice and warm.
Ikaroa Rawhiti is full of terribly talented people, creative, entrepreneurial. They think about things strategically right on the eastern seaboard, and I think that our plan really reflects the thinking of the people that we're here to serve. So we've come through a strong, as Te Puni Kōkiri, a strong strategic alignment program, which we've got, I've mentioned before, the operating model. And I like to think in Ikaroa Rawhiti that we're building our team now, building capability, building capacity, building professionalism in matters of mighty development that are really important to the people of Ikaroa Rawhiti.